There's a stretch of land between Charleston and Savannah where the tides move slow, but the stories run deep. They call it the Lowcountry, and this is Lowcountry Unscripted. We're not here for headlines. We're here for heart, for the fishermen and the founders, the chefs, the hustlers, the hometown heroes, the people who make this region more than just a postcard. It's voices from the docks, the dirt roads, the dive bars, and the back porches where truth gets told. No filters, no edits, no bull, just raw Southern stories told straight up. This is the real Lowcountry, and these are its people. Lowcountry Unscripted, stories that built the Lowcountry, powered by Coastal Solutions Media. Broadcasting from the Coastal Solutions Media Studios in Hardyville, South Carolina, here are your hosts, Brian and Gina Pierce.
Hey, Lowcountry, welcome back to Lowcountry's Unscripted, stories that built the Lowcountry. My name is Brian. Today, she's to my right. Tell him hello, Gina.
Hey, y'all, welcome. We are excited about our guest that we have here in the studio.
That's right. Today, we've got the Indulgent Islander himself, Nick DeSimone. He's the guy that's always out exploring the best food and flavors around the Lowcountry, sharing the stories behind the chefs and the dishes that we all love. His passion for food and people shines in every conversation he has, and he's quickly becoming one of the voices that the locals trust when it comes to what's worth trying out here in our area. And let me tell you, if you haven't heard his podcast, Indulgent Islander, check it out. But we're excited to kick back, talk about food, community, and what it means to indulge in life here in the Lowcountry. So listen, from New Jersey all the way down to the Lowcountry, let's all get together and welcome the Indulgent Islander, Nick DeSimone, to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
that was
sir.
awesome.
Welcome.
I got to hire you for that. That's awesome. Great intro.
I know, right? He really gears you up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like charged up.
Yeah, I get going with this.
I'm ready to.
I enjoy it.
I'm ready to talk some food and get hungry.
Yeah. Hey, so let's tell everybody where you're from and a little bit about your background.
So I grew up in Wyckoff, New Jersey, pretty close to New York City, up there in the northeast corner of Bergen County.
It's in near Hoboken at all or no?
Not far from there.
Okay.
I spent quite a bit of time there. Yeah, that's where all my friends that we got out of college. That's where all my friends were living. So I spent quite a bit of time down there. Most bars per square mile on the East Coast or something like that. I want to say.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So,
I grew up in New Jersey. Basically, started coming down to Hilton Head when I was younger. My mom got sick of taking us to Disney, so she's like, "We need a break. We're going to start going to Hilton Head because we had a family friends that were kind of coming down here every year, so we started coming down.
Would you rent a house or something?
Yeah, so we would start out like the Marriott Monarch back in the day, and then from there Swallowtail across the street from the Sea Pine Center there where that Giuseppe's is, and then started to kind of expand out from there, stay in Shipyard and Port Royal and all the different
there's
neighborhoods
lots of
and stuff.
cool places to stay.
Yeah, so I'm a New Jersey boy, but I definitely. And it was probably, meeting my wife and introducing her to this area and her falling in love with the landscape and everything like that. And just kind of got the idea in my head, like, let's make this a permanent move. I told the story today when I was recording with Michael from Nosh. I said this so many times when I moved down here that people probably got sick of hearing it. Whether I was in front of a room of real estate agents because I'm a mortgage loan originator, or just networking or whatever it was that I was doing. The best mood that I was ever in was when I was coming over the bridge or when I was driving over from Savannah, whether it was from the airport or if my wife and I would spend a night maybe in Savannah and kick around there before my family rolled into town. The best mood that I was ever in was when I was heading over the bridges to go to Hilton Head, and whether it was a week or two later, or two if I was lucky. The worst mood that I was ever in was when I was coming back over, to go back to the airport and head back to. We drove a couple of times when we brought the dog. We drove down, but I'm not really huge on long. I haven't done it since I since we moved down here. Hopefully I won't have to do it again anytime soon. When you have an animal, it turns a
It's usually
11,
miserable when you
12-hour
move. It's
drive
going to be
into-
the worst drive you ever make when you're moving to a destination or something that you always go to, and you move and the thing breaks down. You know, the truck breaks down.
I got pulled over by a New Jersey state cop right before I got out of the state. And I told him the story. I'm like, man, and he saw it for himself because I think my wife pulled over too because we were, caravanning.
Yeah.
I had the dog in the back of my Charger. She had the cat in the dog crate in the back of her Jeep.
Yep.
And I said to the cop, I'm like, listen, like, because I think it was a cell phone thing. And I was like, I'm just making sure, like I was literally on the maps, the Google Maps. I'm like, I'm just making sure that I'm going where I'm supposed to go. I'm like, I got the dog in here with this place packed up, this car packed up. I got the cat with my wife in the other car. And it was kind of like my parting gift. He kind of let me go. And I was like, okay, New Jersey treated me well on my way out.
Like peace.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you're not going anywhere.
Right?
Yeah, you're going to pay your last bit of tax here.
Pay your last toll. Pay your last turnpike toll.
Oh my
Proof of
God.
insurance and registration, sir.
Right?
Yeah. So anyways, you came down here and you, how long ago did you coin the term Indulgent Islander? Like when did it, tell us about like what got you into being, you and your wife into being foodies, and then basically the story surrounding how you started all this.
Yes. So my wife and I met and we kind of became foodies together.
Mhm.
Like I always loved food, but as you get older and, we don't have children, it's
Mhm.
like, nobody's really partying anymore and doing all that kind of stuff. And it's like,
We're all just so tired.
yeah, exactly.
It's hard.
So what does your hobby become? It's like, we're going to go out to eat. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of became foodies together. And, that's kind of just like how it happened. And then a couple of years before we moved here in like spring of 21, I wasn't really like an Instagram I had one, but I didn't really use it that much. Like
Sure.
I didn't really get it. Like I was on Facebook and obviously was very, very active because of the mortgage and stuff like that. But I wasn't really like an Instagram person. But then I kind of started to wrap my head around it. And so I secured EHHI, EAT, lowercase, and then capital HHI.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, let me grab this.
And that's what you are on Instagram, right?
It's still, because I just
Still,
think
yeah.
it's a lot easier than typing out the Indulgent Islander,
Mhm.
right? So it was just captions and photos. And, I would be here for a week and I would take a couple of photos and, whatever they call carousel. I would take the photos, I would write some captions, and that was really it. It was just kind of like a hobby, personal interest thing. I always said food's a universal language, and that's something that I'm interested in, something that I'm passionate about. And then I would say springtime or so last year, I had been talking to one of the local restaurant owners,
Mm-hmm.
Sally Zuniga. She owns both Tio's and Fiddler's Seafood Market out in Ridgeland, and Sweetwater Steamer. It's like the takeaway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What do they call it?
Like to go thing.
Lowcountry, the Lowcountry boil kind of concept. And
Mm-hmm.
she came up with the name, the Indulgent Islander, and
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought it was great. And we at one point we were planning on maybe doing a TV show and some other things, and life happens, and kids and
Dog.
businesses, and exactly for me, dog, cat, stuff like that. So the TV show didn't happen, but these days with this digital age, it's like you don't necessarily need a television show, right?
Mhm.
So
You make your own.
yeah, exactly. So I kind of got Sally's blessing to run with the name,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm always going to give her credit for that. And she even still says to this day, she's like, I chose the right person or something like that. And it was basically because the spirit of it was going to be to spotlight local restaurants. At one point, I think there might have been a food related vehicle on WHHI, but there wasn't one presently at the time. And I'm not going to say that there aren't content creators in the area that do food.
I mean, being that the case, would you say you have a sophisticated palate?
It's funny because one time my aunt said that to my mom. She's like, "You guys have a very sophisticated palate." I guess so. I mean, my thing is I don't know. Is it sophisticated if I like almost everything? People ask like, "What food don't you like?" It's like, I don't know, cottage cheese kind of grosses me out.
Mhm.
It is if texture's weird.
Yeah, and probably a texture thing. But other than that, like, I'll eat just about anything.
Will you eat other people's cooking? Or
Yeah.
are you like severely picky about it?
I'll eat other people's cooking. I don't know how I feel about like random people's cooking, like a bake sale or something like that, because I don't really know what's going on. But I'll eat other people's cooking for
Of course,
sure.
he goes to restaurants and eats other people's cooking.
I was
every
really
day.
more asking for my own personal reference to be like, so what can I cook for you?
No.
Because I can make you anything.
I would again anything.
So you're from Jersey, and I grew up with Italians.
Yep.
So but my parents had to work, and they left me with a babysitter, and they were Italians. Look, they were fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
And so
She
I
still
learned
is.
Italian before I learned English. But let me tell you, I learned, oh my God, the food is so good. Sure, their food is, when you get authentic Italian, look at it, doesn't exist anywhere around here, in my opinion. But I mean, have you ever had a stuffed olive?
Oh yeah.
They're unbelievable.
Many.
Oh my God. She made stuffed
Isn't that
olives
cute? He
like,
thinks
oh my
that you've
God.
never had a stuffed
But I
olive.
just love them to death.
I would say I could live on olives, mushrooms, and cheese. If you told me that I couldn't eat anything else for the rest of my life
Yeah.
other than olives, mushrooms, and cheese, I'd be like, oh, I can deal with that.
So yeah, that's
love
where
blue
my
cheese.
palate came from. And then my dad did a lot of cooking.
Gorgonzola stuffed olives we used to put in
Those are
martinis.
good.
Oh, so good.
Those are so good. Wise guys gave me that idea, and I was like, I can't do this at home. I did, and I was like, this is dangerous.
Did you grow up there eating a lot of Italian food
Oh,
in
tons.
Jersey? Yeah, that's all there is.
Yeah, tons of Italian.
You go
food.
to your friend's house. It's, oh my God.
I always think of my childhood best friend. His name's Jordan, and we would go to his occasionally would go to his grandparents' house in Hasbrook Heights. I can't remember his grandmother's name, but I think his grandfather's name was Angelo. But his grandmother, we would go over there and she would cook food. It was just like when I would go to my grandma. Said, "Oh, you want a sandwich? You want this? You want that?" And
They don't care if you're not hungry. You're still just going to eat.
I have nice bread. It's only in Italian. Nice bread. My wife's grandmother used to say that too. But yeah, we would go over to his grandparents' house and she would make all this amazing food. And I always still joke around about it to this day when we catch up occasionally. It's like she would say, "Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. Like, keep eating." And
Oh
eating
my
and
God.
eating.
When you thought it was over with Maria in the Rossi's, I mean,
Just kept going.
5 courses have come out. And she's like, no, see the Becadana. Yeah,
I could barely understand her. And
eat.
I went back up to Rochester to get her to do my dress alterations for our wedding. And I could barely understand her. My dad thought she was hysterical. And Jack was like, Mom, I can't understand what she's saying because her accent is so thick.
Yeah.
She's a
I'm
really
like,
famous
"It's okay."
seamstress.
And she's like
Oh,
4
okay.
feet tall. But
Yeah.
she's the sweetest lady on this earth.
Foot-powered sewing machine.
I don't think there's anything better than a short little Italian woman in
Oh,
the kitchen cooking.
She's so short. Her head, Mamie's about this far over the countertop. That's it, man.
And she got like,
Shout out to Maria. I'm sure she watches it.
the pound cake out of the freezer, the Italian pound cake. She was like, just give it a couple minutes.
Yeah.
It was like that lemon one.
My grandma always had the Entenmann's cake on the counter. I don't know what it was about with
Oh
her.
my God, you're the second person that's talked
Yeah.
to me about that this week.
The banana with the
so good.
chocolate swirled on top, or the one that had the
Yeah, it was
the
for
icing.
when the guests came over. But, hey, don't eat that. That's for the company.
Yeah.
And you always had to make sure you bought one, like just in case. Like you got a coffee cake just in case somebody comes over after church.
Right.
You're like, oh,
Kids,
hopefully they don't.
Kids touch it. They're like, get your hands out of there.
Yeah.
Get your mitts off that.
The candy bowl.
what's your favorite meal of the day? Like, do you have a preference of meals? Like, do you like breakfast more than you like anything else? Do you like dinner because you like to sleep in? What?
I don't really do breakfast. Maybe once a week or twice a week. I'm like a banana. If I'm running around somewhere, maybe I'll throw like one of those cereal, like Special K breakfast bars or something. It's not that I don't like breakfast. I'm just like, I'm not an up at the crack of dawn person.
Yeah.
Like my wife gets up at like 6:30 in the morning and I'm trailing like a couple hours after that. I'm more of a night owl. That's kind of when I feel like my creative juices are flowing at night.
That's him.
It's like,
and me, I go to bed at like 9:15. I'm usually out.
Oh, you're a
cold.
night owl too, huh?
yeah. One of the radio shows that I listened to up in New York was Michael K. Now it's called Don Hahn and Rosenberg, but Don LaGreca, who's from Hawthorne, New Jersey, which is where my father grew up, he used to say on the Michael K show, things are happening at night. And you know, he's referring to like, you know, people being out and doing stuff. But my thing is like, that's just kind of when the wheels start turning and I start thinking about what I'm going to do and plans and stuff like that. But to answer your question, lunch. I am 100% a lunch person.
guy.
It's not that I'm
guess.
dinner's a close second, but lunch I feel like is more fun.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
not quite as formal.
Yes.
Even if you're at a place that's not formal.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also probably because I'm a huge sandwich guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I speaking of overusing quotes and whatever, I have said this a billion times. When Warren Zevon went on the Letterman show, I think, and he had terminal cancer, and Dave was like, "What do you want to tell everybody, and what would you like your kind of like parting words to be?" And he said, "Enjoy every sandwich." And that's kind of like the words that I live by.
I
Like,
love sandwiches.
I do too. So, I mean, that being said, because I watched your video the other day, you were at Lot 9 having a chicken
parm.
Yeah, that looked good, huh?
It was incredible.
There's a lot of people talk good about Lot 9. I mean, that's just, a rotation, I guess, of food trucks coming in.
So in that particular instance, that was a chicken vodka parm specifically.
Yeah.
That was a pop-up with AMA Private Dining.
Oh my gosh.
Antonio Mancini Albano, who's become a very good friend of mine, is a private chef. He's worked in restaurants for a very long time. He's from New Jersey, like I am, a different part. I think is a little further south than where I was. I think he's got a 908 number, so you do things by area codes up there, right? I'm 201, he's 908. If you're down the shore, you're 732. So when Antonio moved here, I got to give him credit. I mean, he's one of my day one guys, because when he moved here, I think we're coming up on probably about a year. And when he moved here, he wanted to become just a full-time, private chef caterer. And he sought me out. He found me on Instagram. I think it had to be Instagram, because I didn't get my Facebook page going until I think I said June, and to have that linked. And he found me and he's like, "I want to talk to you. Like, nobody's really doing what you're doing down here, and I really like it." And we just became fast friends. I mean, I don't want to say, I like to say guineas jokingly, but two Italian guys.
You're Italian, it's fine.
Yeah, two Italian guys. It's like the Seinfeld when what's his name transferred, became Jewish for the jokes or whatever.
Two Utes.
Yeah, so we became like pretty fast friends, and he's doing a lot of cool stuff.
Cool.
The communal kitchen, or whatever the term is that they use for that, for farm in Bluffton.
Yeah. I think it's communal kitchen.
Yeah, something like that. Commercial kitchen, community. That's like right next to Lot 9 over there. So farm uses it. Matt Valentino from Slap Truck, School Pizza, I think, as well. The School Pizza truck. And Antonio, a couple of months ago, came up with this idea, and he's booked out for months. He's killing it down here, from Beaufort all the way to Savannah. I mean, he's busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest in terms of how much stuff he's got going on. But he was like, I wanted to try to do something fun. So he did a Panzerotti, which is the best way that I can describe it. It's like the Italian version of an empanada. So he did a Panzerotti pop-up at Lot 9. And like you said, they're doing a great job. I mean, the breweries, and whether it's Side Hustle, Lot 9, the bank, although the bank kind of has their own food and some trucks. Yeah. And then the old location of Side Hustle, which is might be my favorite spot. It's not a brewery, but it's a tap room. Shona Goldstein does the
Is it like
Goldstein.
locals only or whatever?
Locals only tap room. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It
because
used
there's
to be Side
locals.
Hustle and they kept rotating it. Yeah.
Yes. So she basically bought, like when the Waterson brands bought into Side Hustle and brought it over to the bank, she took over the location. She's got Side Hustle beers there, but she's got beers from all over South Carolina. She's got an incredible selection. She's got a great spot there, but they're all doing a great job of getting these food trucks. So yeah, on that particular day, I know I get off on these tangents, but on that particular day, Antonio, he had done 2 different Penseratis pop-ups, and then he decided to do a chicken vodka parm pop-up with a panzanella salad and zucchini funnel cake fries, which were as good as that sounds. And so I said, listen, if you're going to be at, I don't really usually go out and do stuff on Sundays. That's kind of like my day, especially, now I might go to Walker Venrick from Smokehouse, and I talked about football games at Smokehouse. Occasionally you can get me in to go out and do something like that. But for the most part, I'm a homebody on Sundays specifically. But I was like, if you're going to be making chicken parm on a sourdough pretzel bun at Lot 9, which is 15 minutes from my house, I got to be there.
Yeah.
You should have seen the mozzarella pull on this thing. Just like,
I got my guy, Jakai Morrow, who's one of my video guys, who's, local guy. He came over there with me, and it was perfect because it was kind of a little bit quieter. Unfortunately for Lot 9, their AC was down that day. So it was actually, even though it was still warm outside, it was a little bit more comfortable outside than it was inside. But it was cool because I got to sit down at one of the picnic tables, like right outside the door on a nice sunny day. And I sat there and had some chicken parm. I was the only thing that I didn't like about that one was it was a little, the volume was a little too loud on my chewing, even though I kept my mouth shut. But then I said to myself, it's like, what do they call it now? Mukbang or something like that is the name of this when you're eating on camera. And so it's just part of the deal.
Do you have a microphone on you?
So that's probably what I should have had, the mic that was clipped on me maybe a little bit further away.
Oh, so it was like a little too intense in noises? Like
It was kind of like the mozzarella and all that kind of stuff. Even though my mouth was closed, it was a little. But I said, listen, it's better than I'm still going to put it out there because that was just a very couple of seconds or whatever during a 10-minute video. But yeah, it was absolutely delicious. The crispness of the cutlet, it was like a double cutlet. The crispness of the cutlet with that velvety vodka sauce and that melty, gooey mozzarella with that. And I'm not a huge pretzel bun person, but it played with that chicken parm.
So good. But I mean, it's so can you get another one? I mean,
it's a pop-up.
It's a pop-up.
He did say, and we posted that like a week or so ago, he said, we might do this one again, we might not. Now, right after that, this past weekend, it was actually on my brother's birthday, Labor Day weekend. He did Sunday. He's doing family meals to go, which you actually can go and pick up at Lot 9, and it's all very nicely packaged. So my brother, who didn't get to do the chicken parm sandwich, but is still, chicken parm's probably at the top of his list of favorite meals. And that's not an easy thing to find down here, specifically that. But this past weekend, Antonio did a family meal number 002, I think it was, which just goes to show you, obviously, this is going to be an ongoing thing. It's kind of like Farm with their numbered menus. It was chicken vodka parm with homemade rigatoni. I actually saw one of his chefs on his team cutting the rigatoni with the machine in there. And I had seen one of the guys from Farm using that when I was there for the chicken parm sandwich pop-up. And I was like, oh, that seems kind of cool. And homemade rigatoni. Then he did like a Italian chopped salad, it was like olives and cheese and oh my God.
Hey, do they let you back there to film anything?
Oh, I was hanging out in the kitchen the whole time.
Oh, so
For the parm pop, for the sandwich pop up, for the other one, they were kind of like, you could see that they were up against it. So I kind of just hung out in my car and listened to. There was a wrestling event that day, so I was doing a little pre-show with I had the dog in my car because I was going to my parents for the day. So I just kind of hung out and waited for it to be done. But yeah, he did the Italian, like an antipasta salad, and then garlic bread, and he even threw in like an add-on. You could get like a peach, like crostata, like a peach kind of tart type of thing.
Dude.
It was spectacular. My wife wasn't feeling well. She had a real bad migraine, so I brought it back home for her, and she ate like the rigatoni that night, and she loved it. And then, she had
homemade.
It was awesome. She ended up having the chicken parm the next day, which you lose a little bit of the crispness of the cutlets and stuff like that. But he's killing it. He's doing a great job, and it's been fun. As much as I like doing the interviews in like that StreamYard Zoom format remotely, makes it easier and more convenient for people. The on-site stuff is definitely getting a very good response, because if you're doing food, I think it's better when you're actually eating the food and talking about it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, you look at, I know we were talking about Barstool earlier, but Portnoy going around and doing these pizza videos. Listen, I mean, those things are viral, and they're people, and listen, I mean, the guy's good at it, The score is the score.
I actually follow his dog's Instagram
pages. Listen,
Miss Peaches.
I love her.
I have Miss Peaches Crocs at home.
She's amazing.
Nice. Yeah. So he came out with like a frozen pizza.
Yeah,
it was called Just One Bite. Did you try it?
Yeah, he was drunk that night, right? It was at his house in the Cape or something like that. And
yeah,
torched the roof of his mouth with the frozen pizza.
I think that's when he got into trouble for. He was making that kids. It was during COVID. He made that kid. He's like, "This is a kid show." He was re-eating a what do you call him? A Lunchable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like kid show. And he kept just being swearing and stuff.
He's definitely one of my inspirations. I'm not saying that I want to like copy like the pizza reviews, but I did at Lot 9. I did a school pizza where I was like, all right, Jay, one bite of it, just kind of like as an homage, right? Mm-hmm. Because that kind of thing is, that's the kind of thing that I want to be doing. Like I was telling Gina before, I'm not the biggest tech person.
Well, I saw that you. Yeah. I say that to say this: you rank the food. You're like, it's an 8. I think didn't I see you do that?
No.
You're like, I'd give it a 7.5.
Oh well, I might have done it in that one, just kind of like tongue in cheek as a joke.
Okay, I didn't know if you did it all the time.
I think I probably if I did that, it probably was kind of tongue in cheek. But again,
you don't typically do that.
No, I the spirit of the endeavor is, promotion and spotlighting, advocacy, support, that type of stuff. So I don't really I will say if this is my favorite or if I think that this is the best. I try not to overuse terms like that. But that kind of thing where I don't have to worry about the camera or the microphone or the production aspect of things. Mm-hmm. And I can just focus on eating the food and talking about the food.
Certainly,
talking enjoying it and enjoying the conversation with whomever, just like right now. Mm-hmm. Like I come in and this is all plug and play and set up, right? You guys have an amazing setup here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is where I feel most comfortable. I think I told you, I said it when I did Ryan Chwansky's The Bluffton Buzz, a couple of years ago, this is my comfort zone. So if you combine this with, eating some food and talking about it, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
I feel like this is my wheelhouse, to put it that way.
What is your, I just want some feedback. What's your thought process on the fact that these restaurants are closing by 9:00 at night now on the island? Do you think it's because of COVID? There's so many restaurants that I've heard so many people complain about the fact that these restaurants aren't staying open late. And I'm like, as a former server, I can remember there weren't that many people that came in between 9 and 11. So cutting that particular part of the day out, I don't know. I think people are going to make the most money during dinner and then they're going to be done.
Right. Brian, I think you alluded to that when we spoke on the phone the other day,
just
right?
Because it's just coming up in conversation.
Yes,
on Reddit
that's what you said.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So And I love how you got a handle on like the pulse. So, and that's what I love about this show is that you find out like what are people talking about so that we can talk about it. And then it's like, okay, now we're like,
it's like vocalizing a problem that people are really
right. So
on.
I'll put it to you this way. We all know Hilton Head is very different than Bluffton, right?
Definitely.
So if you're in Hilton Head and whether you live there or you're on vacation, you definitely have some more options if you want to do something a little bit later because, you got the Bermuda Triangle, you got Palmetto Bay Marina. I don't know that there's too many other things like that, but you got a little bit more options in terms of the late night stuff.
Maybe Poseidon.
Yeah.
People go there for like, random nights and stuff.
Yeah. Bluffton's different, right? So I guess, I'm not the type of person that's usually really out very late. So I didn't really notice that. And it's not something that I really ever thought of. Like you said, they're making their money, with dinner. But that being said, I interviewed Chef Bernard Bennett from Ocon a couple of weeks ago. And that was, I called it the Indulgent Hour late night. Because he was actually on one of his trips where he was out. I think he was in Alaska, searching for and foraging for ingredients and things like. He was in New York, and then he was in Seattle, and he was in Alaska. So he was like 5 hours behind me, and so it was like 5 where he was. It was 10 o'clock where I was, and one of the things that we talked about was, which I love, they're doing some cool stuff, like. I think it's called Ocon 100 or something. Like there's a little bit of nightlife and stuff going on there. They got some cool cocktails. Obviously the food there is unbelievable, but they sort of brought another element to that. Now I don't know what the laws are in Bluffton in terms of times and things, but I do know that like not far from here, there's a bar apparently that there's people of a certain, nationality or culture that are able to get access to this establishment, and they're dancing and partying until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, a couple days a week. So obviously,
because it's a private party, probably.
I think it's partially because whatever the rules are it's either Okatee or Ridgeland, wherever it is, it allows for that. So it was a restaurant, I think, but they had some sort of agreement and even one of the groups, they were coming in and like bringing their own food and drink and just partying up until like 4 or 5 o'clock. So anything that's happening, after 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm not privy to, specifically in Bluffton.
Yeah.
But
we are now of the age where it's like going out super, super late is not in our wheelhouse anymore. I mean, we might stay up late because we're in our own house.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, please don't make me stay out till 10.
We film those after darks. It's after dark.
Yeah.
It's well after dark.
Yeah. I think I was up till, what's that?
It's significantly after dark. Yeah.
I think I was up till 2 a.m. last night. That's not a normal occurrence for me, but like you said, I might stay up late, but I might be watching the same movie for the 50th time or, listen to a podcast, or maybe I'm just sitting out on the lanai, just kind of
enjoying the nicer evenings we've been having. Yeah. It's been cooler.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When Gina goes to bed, I do consulting on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For social media, digital marketing and stuff.
Right. Now, are you talking to people that are...
Yeah. People who want to put some sweat equity into their business.
Right.
Yeah.
But are they like in an earlier time zone at that time, or are they talking to you?
No, they're here. Yeah.
Oh, they're talking late.
Yeah, they're here in this area.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they're just people that, they want to work hard. And so Jorge's one of them, the guy that got these chairs. He's, he wants to put some sweat.
One of our major sponsors.
Because he started putting some digital marketing out there and saw that, he's like, this stuff works. Like, he's busy.
Yeah. So Don was right.
Crazy.
Things are happening at night.
Yeah, things are happening at night because then you can, once you get it created, you can set it up to schedule to post when people are, during the active times.
Right.
Because if you can hit the algorithm and that's when most of your subs are on, that's when you hit the homer.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that because that was an awesome interview with Bernard. but because, you know, when I do StreamYard, I go live. And,
Yeah.
you know, and shout out to Justin Jarrett from Loco Sports for you know, putting me onto that platform. It's worked very well for me, but I like it because it goes live Facebook, live Instagram, and live YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I'm going to reshare and stuff like that. But, you know, I did that one. And then a night, like the next day or 2 days later, I did Matt from Slap Truck much earlier in the day. And I noticed that, like, at least on Facebook, the interview with Bernard wasn't getting nearly as many because of depending on when the algorithm hit. And it's done decent numbers in the weeks ensuing from there. And it'll only stay on, the lives only stay on Facebook for like 30 days. But like we talked about, YouTube is evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
That took a little bit longer to kind of pick up some steam than the one with Matt. And I think it was because we were doing things a little bit later at night. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I for some reason I have this in my head that, like, I don't, but you actually already proved me wrong, because you said Sundays are great for that stuff. And I always feel like Saturdays and Sundays, people don't want to be looking at their phones and stuff. But you said Sundays
the
are
number
huge.
one day of the week.
And is it Sunday night or Sunday?
I usually release it Sunday at around 11:30
a.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
And then 4 and 7 are good times.
Okay.
So after brunch,
I would prefer,
church.
if I were to narrow it down to 2, it's 4 and 7.
Okay.
After
Sunday
church,
See,
evening.
I'm
After
shocked
lunch.
by that.
I think what it is that, you know, people are winding their weekend down. They're
Yeah.
getting ready to go to work the next day, and it sucks. And they get on their phone and start scrolling through social media.
Some people just stay in the bed on Sundays.
Yeah. See, for me,
I can't, but
I think it's probably because I'm just a little strange and I'm on social so much all week long
mm-hmm.
that sometimes when I get to like Saturday and Sunday,
like,
I kind of just want to disconnect. So I'm a little bit different than that, but the numbers don't lie. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
so
get overstimulated.
It
Yeah.
fluctuates. I mean, AI has a good handle on it to tell you when are great times to post things. And sometimes things you'd be shocked. It's the stuff that you don't imagine is going to do well.
Right.
Explodes.
I know.
Like a video about my wife's snoring habits, for
I think
example.
it's because I was so humorous.
that
doing it.
thing went live and got 1,000 views in an hour. And it was
It's
just
all
like,
those celebrity people that think we're celebrities now.
I think it's because I started adding music and some B-roll into my shorts.
Oh, cool.
And I'm noticing people are watching them like twice as long now. So
I got to get into doing more shorts.
that's
not really doing
so
any.
that's what picks subscribers. That's what sells.
Right.
Because it'll drive people to you can link it to the full length, and that's nice because it's when you play the short, it's right there, and they can and now they got the full length, and they might, and if they end up doing that, a lot of times they end up subscribing.
Right.
And then, so like I find I have a lot of subscribers through that link where they went to the full length and they're like, I'm going to subscribe and watch this later. Perfect. That's
Nice.
exactly what we want you to do.
And those are the verticals, right? The shorts on YouTube.
9x16s.
You know what I just noticed the other day? Because obviously I'm a big sports guy. Obviously I'm wearing my Bo Jackson shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The ESPN, not the new app, which I'm going to have to give in and pay $30 a month for because I want to watch my WWE Premium Live events. They just kicked off a huge agreement with them. And it's going to start with this big show at the end of September, WrestlePalooza. It's going to be like this big kickoff, this big launch of this partnership with ESPN. I opened my ESPN app the other day and they have a new, like you got the tab in the bottom, the home, the whatever. They got a vert tab now on the
They
ESPN
got reels,
app.
yeah. Everybody's doing them. So
Yeah.
Spotify's doing them now, I just found out. So
Wow.
I started uploading. I think you can only do one, but then I went to go look for where these said shorts are. Can't find it, Spotify. Can't do
really?
it. I don't know where they are.
Huh.
Like just to scroll through and see what other people's are like. Can't find them.
It's not on Spotify for creators or anything.
No, that's just a platform to post on.
I know, but sometimes it's in like the,
It was just like
New
attached to
or
our
gallery
video
or
when it was
some
down
weirdness.
there. So, and that's the other thing. Like Spotify is good. Are you on there?
We talked about, I need to get on that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just because some people they want to listen to you, but they can't close their phone on YouTube unless they pay for it.
Right.
I mean, pay premium, and Spotify is cheaper, and you can just put it in your pocket. And
you
right.
can put it on your car and it can, can listen to it.
I think if they don't pay for it, they play like commercials every 30 minutes or something. But
Yeah, the Spotify you can watch it if you want, but otherwise you could just listen to it and you could do something else.
Yeah, you can,
whereas
you can lock your phone screen or keep playing. Yeah, that's the big one.
Whereas YouTube, you try to do something else. It's like if you want, they used to call it like YouTube Red or something, and now they're like
yeah, it's YouTube TV now.
YouTube Premium,
TV.
yeah.
I love me some Spotify.
And you get
Mm.
Especially since they started adding the video element to it months ago, right? Yeah, that was a kind of relatively newer thing, right? The video. Element?
They've been
while.
Rogan's had his up for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a couple of years.
I saw mine was the Ringer. I started noticing that they were doing some more video, which is cool.
For whatever reason, though, it takes a minute to upload to Spotify.
Oh yeah,
about 4 times longer than YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and YouTube takes a little while sometimes.
Sometimes,
yeah.
If it's if they're an hour long or
right,
yeah, it can be temperamental. Let me ask you, do you ever try out these restaurants in these clubs in these private communities?
No,
I think there's a big market there.
I will say this. I've heard very good things about the restaurant in Pine Crest, I think. There's a pub or something like that, I think, in Pine Crest.
I don't know.
I know that there's Backwater Bill's is in Hampton Lake, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So, hey, listen, like I said, I'm down for anything. I'd love to try
each one of these. Our place, we have a restaurant.
Oh, yeah?
We do, yeah. The Waterside Grill.
We went there in the beginning.
Every one of them has them. Like the one at Oldfield is special. They've got some great cuisine there.
Are all these open to the public or no?
Most of them I'm pretty sure you can get into.
Okay.
And especially if in your position.
Right.
I mean,
Just
there would be nothing just
manager.
to go in there and introduce yourself to these chefs and
That's
I'm
cool.
I'm sure they'd love to have you. And the reason why it's a big deal, and for me, is we had Charles Davis on, Charles, and I said, Charles, I want you to come on and just talk about your experiences living at Latitude Margaritaville.
Right.
That Jorge asked me earlier, he's like, what video performs best for you? That's the one, because he goes on there and tells people from a resident's point of view, because every other video that's out there is a sales pitch from a realtor.
Yep.
So that thing just gets constant flow of views from search terms and stuff like that. And I think what it is that's all they see in there is a realtor sales pitch. So, having you go in and try their food. And then I think that's huge. If somebody wants to move to Berkeley Hall or Culleton River, I'm sure they would love to know how their club's food is, because a lot of them have a minimum they got to spend there.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it all works into the equation. That minimum in Moss Creek's $500 a month.
I love this idea.
Yeah, I was thinking of them after I talked to you, and we have found success with these neighborhood, finding residents inside of the neighborhoods and then bringing them on and being like, what do you think about your community?
That's cool.
Because all you'll see out there is just realtor after realtor suction cupping the Osmo Pocket 3 onto a Z-arm on their car and taking a drive through the neighborhood and telling you how great the market is.
Right.
It shows how many people keep moving here for more
I think
homes.
he's got like 167 views on the video in 3 weeks on long form, which is, I was talking to Jorge, it gets watched about 10 times every 48 hours.
Wow.
So, and it's all people searching for Margaritaville.
Okay.
It drove a lot. We peaked.
And also, Charles Davis is awesome.
Yeah, we love Charles.
We love Charles. I'm like his #1 fan, besides his wife. I'm like literally going to make a T-shirt. I'll make a T-shirt for you too. Nice. I'm in the Nick Club.
I'm a big T-shirt guy.
Yeah.
We like shirts.
We love shirts. Because we do branding and stuff, so we stamp the company shirts.
Sound like we're talking about cattle. Like we do Brandon.
Yeah, we heat her up, and then we
drop your trowel.
Yeah, we kick the bull in the nuts. Yep. Yeah. So I think, and I'll tell you, there is some good food in some of these communities. Like I said,
bet.
Oldfield. Of course, when we lived there, it was special. That place is great. But for you to sit down and I think get involved in that little niche environment could really accelerate things.
I'm gonna put it on the list.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah. And what is, so if you were to, we were talking earlier about Ralphie's and, people people want to know in certain, well, let's say, how do I word this? What are some great eats when it comes to, this Bluffton Okatee area and the Hilton Head area? Maybe like your top 3. Now, I know that's a broad question. Okay.
Yeah.
For lunch. How about we'll
For
start with
lunch.
lunch?
Yeah, for lunch, for sandwiches, like you were talking about what you're a great connoisseur at.
Okay.
Where, a lot of people ask, where's the best
top 3
where's the
lunch
best Philly,
sandwich for you.
Okay. So let's break it into, we'll do a Hilton Head and then we'll do a Bluffton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So top 3 sandwiches in Bluffton.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown Deli, we did a whole episode on sandwiches.
Love that
and
place, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I use the word institution to describe them.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been talking to Leah McCarthy. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to be doing something with me pretty soon, which is awesome. She's got Downtown Deli and then, of course, Magnolia Cafe over in Beaufort.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where we're going to post up. I'm assuming probably downtown, but I'm open to. I'll drive anywhere to go eat. I don't go over to Beaufort, Ladies Island, St. Helena that often, but I'll go over there to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I love Locals Raw Bar. That place is one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my guy Hunter, who's down in the Keys right now doing some tarpon fishing, and he's going to come on too, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown Deli's definitely one.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's kind of sneaky, and it's not Bluffton. Well, I'm not sure exactly because it's at the weird sort of intersection of Bluffton, Okatee, Ridgeland. Have you guys been to Southern Spice Deli?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right across the
Right,
street
so-
from our house.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
see.
it's
I
right
don't have
here.
my bearings because I
Nope,
can't.
it's
I'm
right
used to
across the
going
street.
over. I didn't realize how close I was to Argent.
I could take the golf
I
cart.
think we might actually touched on that briefly the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I love that place,
Yeah, they're great.
and I don't even. You know what it was? I was getting my car serviced because I have a Charger, so I was getting something done over at Auto Nation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I literally sometimes I just plug in my phone, lunch near me,
Near me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it said Southern Spice Deli and Catering,
Mm-hmm.
and you would never even know that it's there.
You wouldn't, yeah.
No.
Because it's in like a little
a hidden
industrial
gem.
park.
And I
right?
think they're just open for lunch. I think.
I think they're closed at like
3 or 4,
something
yeah,
like that.
something like
Now
that.
they do the meals to go.
Yeah, they cater and they do a lot of catering.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that to me, like their chicken corn chowder, which is their stock soup,
Mm.
is spectacular.
Excellent.
And they do specials, which I say it over and over, another overused term. I'm a sucker for a good special. So I've had great specials there. I remember there was a mushroom soup there one time that was incredible. No matter what, usually I come home with a quart of the chicken corn chowder anyway,
Yeah.
because I just love that stuff so much. So that's another one. And then I would say, I mean, I do that. You can get, there's a couple good sandwiches that you can get over at Lowcountry Fresh. They got some really good baked, breads and stuff like that there.
Right.
So that's another one. And then
Have you tried Alvin Ord's?
Alvin Ord's, listen, Alvin Ord's, I forget about it because it's not your typical deli sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something. That bread that they use, that round seeded bread,
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible.
And it's massive.
It's you can do you're basically you could do the small, the medium, or the large. I mean, that big one is.
I know, it's massive.
It's legit. That's hard. I don't even know if I could do that one in one sitting.
It's a sleeper hold.
It's for real. It's so soft, and like I think a lot of their sandwiches they use 3 cheeses, which is incredible, and that Salvation, which is definitely their, usually I'll get like maybe one cold one, maybe I'll do some chicken salad. Then they got some hot ones too, like a chicken cordon bleu and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you. It's not that I sleep on them. It's just like, even when we did the episode in season 1 about the delis, like I just, it's weird. It's like, for some reason, it's like in a category all of its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's definitely a good one. Now, if we cross over the bridge into Hilton Head, Grooby's is, and I really like the Grooby, the one that was in Bluffton. That's not open right now, and they might be relocated. I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the Groobies on Hilton Head, I did a video over there with Thomas and Riley and Jada Riley Clark, his sister,
Yep, saw that.
from the Crab Group. The Rileys, obviously, they own a number of restaurants in Hilton Head. Those sandwiches, I mean, if you're talking like Jewish deli,
Yeah, I've had them. They're
it's
good.
as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And some of them are just enormous.
Their Reuben
Yep.
is good.
The Reuben, yeah.
They're all, I mean, even French Dip just made a permanent spot on the menu, which
That's
is
nice.
which is awesome.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah. Before I forget,
Mhm.
Squat and Gobble.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Some pretty like that Italian is not your traditional Italian, and I like the Italian at Southern Spice too. But the Italian at Squat and Gobble is legit.
Yeah.
And a chicken cheese like they got a couple. There's some good stuff. I know people like to go there for breakfast and the Southern type of food, but they got some pretty darn good sandwiches.
Look at you
Squat and
about
Gobble.
said it. There's a lot of talk about who's got the best cheesesteak around here, and because it's been a while since there wasn't one. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Dominic's Steak Shack right outside of Home Depot.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's closed.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, I told you he may have passed away, but the truck is still open.
No, it's
Isn't it?
Chase
Sammy?
English is running that now.
Yeah.
Oh, it
And-
is. Okay.
And by the way, they do sausage and peppers. My dad loves their
Yes.
sausage and
Dude,
peppers.
that's what I wanted. Yeah.
And breakfast sandwiches he's doing
The
over there
sausage
too.
and peppers is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like it's a food truck, but it's like permanent on
It's
a permanent
it's on
foundation.
it's on
right?
cinder blocks.
It's really smart, great location. And
It is.
Colleen Jackson also had the hot dog house outside of Lowe's. She sold that business to I haven't heard who bought it or who's going to open it yet. But yeah, back to Hilton Head. Groobies, in terms of standard sandwich place,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's excellent. If you want like an Italian type of sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
the Market Cafe at Michael Anthony's is spectacular. I got a pretty big appetite, so usually I need maybe a sandwich and a half there because they're not huge. I might get like a cheesesteak and one of the Italian sandwiches. The problem is when I go into the Market Cafe is like I'll order and then I start looking in the freezer at all the frozen pastas and the soups and everything like that. And it's tough for me to walk out there without dropping, a bill at least. But that's another good one. And I think you got to show some respect to Stu's Surfside subs.
Yes, dude. Surfside is awesome.
I mean,
Yep.
they're huge, right?
Yep.
Huge. Their soups are very good too. I did a video there with a guy named John Park, who's known as the Hungry Asian, aka Wing King, Dumpling King, whatever. John Park it's at Hungry Asian RKE. He's from Roanoke, Virginia.
Oh.
So he was down here. He comes down several times a year, and he's very close to the owners at Farm, and he just he does a lot of like video marketing and stuff like that back home, but he does like the Instagram and the Facebook is really just for fun, right?
Mhm.
So I did a video there with him and Sean Hill from Beaufort, who's doing a cool thing called Reluctant Foodie, because he's a guy that really wouldn't eat anything, and he's expanding his horizon. He does everything from snacks to candy bars to, he's friends with Matt over at Black Sheep, which is now Black Sheep Sabbatical. Another great sandwich, by the way. Matt does some great sandwiches out there.